In this video, I will walk you through the steps of how to create a quiz using question sets. From your home page, click Quizzes. Then we're going to click on Create a New Quiz. So for now, we'll just name it, and then I want to click on the questions. Now, at this point, I have three options: writing a new question, creating a question group, and finding questions. Since this is going to be a low-stakes chapter review, I'm going to click Find Questions. Now you'll notice all of my question banks have loaded on the left-hand side. I think I'm going to select this quiz out of Chapter 1 questions. I have a couple of choices. I can select each question individually, or I could select all of them. Now I'm going to make a group for this. We're going to call it Group 1. There are 14 in this bank. I'm going to select 10. I'm going to make it worth 1 point per question. And then I'm going to create the group and add these questions. Now what this did was create a question set where it's going to randomly select 10 questions and they're going to be worth 1 point each. So right now my quiz is worth 10. If I would like to add more questions, I can repeat the steps of finding more questions and going from there. And then you would click Save and then Publish, and your randomized quiz is good to go. Once your banks are created, you can now link outcomes to your question banks. But be careful, choose only one outcome for each bank. If these banks will be used for the final, make sure to account for all of your outcomes for data collection purposes. To link an outcome to a question bank, first you need to open the bank, then click Align Outcomes. Then you will be able to select the outcomes for your course. Choose which one you like. Select Import. It will ask you if you want to import. Choose OK. Now this learning outcome is linked to this question bank. So now anywhere I put this bank, the outcome will be linked to it. Now we're going to create a more higher stakes quiz and we're going to link it to our outcomes. So from your home page, click Quizzes. We want to create a new quiz from the right side. And then we're going to do questions. This time I'm going to change my selection. I want to select a new question group. And I could call this something by chapter. I could call it something by difficulty. I already know that my Chapter 1 question bank has 14 questions, so I'm going to use that one again for this example. I want it to pick 10 questions, 1 point per question. This time I want to link it to a question bank. Now for lower stakes quizzes, you may not want to select this because once you link it to an outcome, it will be tracked at the end of the semester data. So now since this is going to be like maybe a final exam, I do want to link it. So I select the bank that I want to link it to, select bank, create group. And then questions will be pulled from this chapter. So since this would be like a final exam, you would need to recreate these steps again so that you have everything that you need to create a robust final exam. And then I could go through and select the bank that I want it to pull from and create a group. You can keep track of how many questions you have by looking over here at the points. This is also randomized because it is selecting a few questions from each bank. This is where grouping your questions by challenge level makes it a little bit easier because now I know this is going to be challenging questions and everybody is going to get at least 5 of those. So this is how you create more of a final exam using question banks.